Usually around this time, free agency opens up and we get all sorts of notifications about free agent signings. Obviously, this year is a little different since we're still about to resume the season. Here is my list of the worst free agent signings in Lakers history. So to start off my list of worst free agent signings, at number 5, I have Dennis Rodman. He actually didn't play terribly. He averaged 2.1 points and 11.2 rebounds. That's not bad since he was never a scorer and they brought him in for his rebounding. But he only played 23 games for the Lakers due to the shortened lockout season. And he was more of a distraction with his off-court antics. He was supposed to form a big three with Shaq and Kobe. Unfortunately, that never happened, which is why he's on this list. At number 4, I have Vlade Divac. He was actually a solid player for the Lakers when they drafted him. When they signed him in 2004, he was supposed to fill the void that Shaq left at center. Yeah, he didn't do that. He averaged 2.3 points and 2.1 rebounds and only played 15 games due to injury that led to his retirement at the end of the season. Safe to say that this was a very disappointing signing for the Lakers. Also, it didn't sit well with me that the Lakers were signing this guy after all those battles with him on the Kings. But hey, he probably did the most for the Lakers while he was on the Kings. Robert Horry thanks you for that pass. At number 3, I have Smush Parker. The Lakers signed him in 2005 to be Kobe's running mate in the backcourt. Kobe needed a reliable point guard. Smush definitely was not that. The Lakers signed him out of the G League, or D League back then. I remember having to take him out of the D League and put him on the Lakers when I was manually updating the roster in NBA 2K5. Yes, 2K5. I know, I'm old. But it was this move and other frugal signings that pissed Kobe off and ultimately led him to requesting a trade. You could tell how salty Kobe was about this, by how he would always go out of his way to bring up Smush Parker long after both their careers were over. Yeah, terrible signing. Bringing in a subpar point guard and pissing off your best player in the process. At number 2, Timofey Mozgov. Whew, this was bad. He was the first free agent signed that year at 12:01 a.m., right at the deadline. Really? Nobody else was rushing to sign this guy. If they really wanted him, they could have waited a bit longer and go after someone better first. They probably would have been able to get a better deal after the market had already been set. But no. They gave him a 4-year, $64 million contract. And he wasn't a terrible player, but he wasn't worth no $64 million. The amount, the length of the contract, the timing, all of it was bad. This contract was so bad, in order to get rid of him, they had to include D'Angelo Russell, a promising young player at the time, and now an all-star. They had to include him in the trade. I have no idea what the front office was thinking when they signed Mozgov. And at number 1, for the worst signing of all time, it has to be Lew Wallace. Dang. I feel bad because he was a decent player and a good guy. But he's now known for being the guy with that contract. The Lakers gave him a $72 million contract for 4 years. With the right team, Dang could be a solid player. But the Lakers were garbage. They had a bunch of young players that they were trying to develop. They weren't getting many wins, and it was more beneficial for them to give the younger dudes playing time over veterans like Dang. And here was this guy getting paid $72 million, and he wasn't even playing, taking up all that cap space. And it's not like he did anything wrong. Somebody waved $72 million in your face, you better take it. But still, this wasn't sitting right with the fans. This contract was literally untradeable. This is what ultimately led to the demise of Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss. Deng would eventually be waived by the Lakers via the stretch provision, which means that to this day, the Lakers are still paying him to not play basketball. And there's my list. Man, that was frustrating reliving those memories. Are there any honorable or dishonorable mentions? Who did I miss? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.